My oldest brother, Christopher, he's a YouTuber. He has a beautiful family. You know, my sister, Rachel, she used to tour with me. She's a YouTuber. You guys know these two siblings pretty well. But I have another brother that I don't talk about very often, and his name is Trent.
So a lot of people have been asking for proof, and while obviously I'm not going to go back and find every single message and show you, because that would be a lot of messages, here's proof that we messaged, and this was one of the more alarming messages, I guess. Yeah, and then I can click here and it's him right here. Yep.
Hey guys, how is it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm actually covering something that people have been talking about for a little while. There's now been a headline all about this, and it's Trent Ballinger. I didn't really know a lot about this character, Colleen's brother, up until I'd say a few weeks ago when these tweets started resurfacing where basically it was found out that Trent was messaging minors inappropriately in, I think it was 2018, 2019. So he would have been in his 30s and this person would have been a teenager. So obviously ultra strange. Are we sensing a bit of a theme here? Now, according to a lot of people don't really like talking about Trent, and it's because many say that they have some sort of a mental disability. And all I can see about any form of disability he might have is that he's deaf. And I'm not saying that any of this is an excuse per se. I'm just saying this is maybe one of the reasons why, even according to this news, this like headline that I saw written in it, they basically said that many don't want to speak out because they believe that he is a vulnerable adult in kind of fewer words than one. I've come to Trent's defense, claiming he has a disability and does not possess the mental maturity of a man in his 30s. Others claim this is no excuse, as he allegedly states in the messages shared by Ollie that he knows he should not be messaging minors, but is choosing to do so anyway. And this is the person who came out with all of these tweets. His name is Ollie, and they are now 18, and they said, a thread of things Trent Ballinger, a man in his 30s, sent to me when I was 14. And he also came out and shared this little video, which I shared at the very beginning of this one, basically, you know, confirming that, you know, Oliver's not making this up. These were legit messages sent from Trent to Oliver when he was 14. Now, these messages, some of them are just wild. Some of them, it's very, 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 very inappropriate type of messaging to be sending. A lot of it is I think of it as being quite predatorial, I will be honest, or there's some sort of a weird obsession with wanting to know where this 14-year-old is, sending a lot of messages, and we're just going to go through a little bit of it. Before I go ahead and read some of the messages, this comes from the Centennial, and it says, Trent Ballinger accused of fostering an inappropriate online relationship with a young Colleen Ballinger fan. Messages start with Trent telling Ollie not to share their conversation with anyone and that anything they speak about stays between them. I'm told not to speak to people under 18, Trent wrote. I do so just to spread positivity. Throughout the messages, Trent discussed Ollie's sexual orientation, got possessive over the minor, and gave Ollie the nickname Peapod. He guilted Ollie over the prospect of them forgetting about him one day, and on more than one occasion, he appeared very concerned that Ollie labelling himself as bisexual and gay. Ollie also claims that Trent sometimes sent them their own photos with different edits. Trent often called Ollie cute and pretty, told them multiple times to visit him, and asked Ollie to send him a special video just for him. In one message, he told Ollie that they would look good pregnant, and on Ollie's 14th birthday, Trent wrote, 4 more years and you're 18. He seemingly admitted to video chatting with Colleen's underage fans in the past and told Ollie that he stopped because his parents said that could get him into trouble. I stopped because parents were like, that can get you in trouble, and Colleen posted a video, I got mad. Because your parents could take it the wrong way, like I do something horrible to you. Now, I'm just going to stop right here just before I actually read some of the messages that were sent backwards and forwards, but no, this is the kind of stuff, regardless, and I don't know Trent's backstory, I don't know if they have a medical condition or a disability of some sort which would make them be somewhat of a vulnerable adult, not not really realise that what they're doing is wrong, act very childlike, etc., etc. I don't know the backstories, if anyone can fill me in, but regardless, it's still inappropriate and it should still be treated somewhat, if they do have some form of a disability, with a bit more consideration to the fact that they may not understand. But the thing is that they are able to relay to Oliver at at that moment that what he was doing wasn't okay because his parents disagreed with it, because he was told not to do it, yet they still did it. And of course, I know some people are going to be able to interpret that differently depending on if you do have a disability. Like, I am aware of this, but I do still think that this needs to be talked about. It 100% needs to be talked about. It doesn't matter if they are able to understand the ramifications of doing this to a child or not. It still needs to be spoken about. It still needs to be treated like seriously. People, just because Trent may have suspected learning difficulties, whichever one it is, doesn't then just give a pass being like, oh, it's fine. Because if I was getting these messages, if I was 13, 14, I would be so freaked out. And I think that, was he just doing this and the whole family had no idea? I mean, they're saying that his parents did realise that he was talking to underage kids and told him not to do it. So they were aware that he was doing it originally, which just makes this whole thing sick. So these aren't all necessarily in order. They're just like as they were tweeted. So Trent said, okay, just don't share a conversation with anyone else. Anything we talk about stays between you and I. And then Oliver says, oh, okay, don't worry. And Trent says, thanks. Trent then says, I'm told not to talk to people under 18. I do so just to spread positivity. So, yeah. And then the one bit which really proves Oliver's innocence is the fact that they're saying, oh, I don't see anything wrong with talking to people that are under 18. Who said that? You really do spread positivity and I love it. And I think this just goes to show that when you are a child, when you're a teenager, you won't see what's the matter with over 30-year-olds talking to you like that in a group, not even a group chat, in a private DM. You don't really see the issue with it until you get a little bit older and you realise that it was wrong all along. There's messages as well where Trent's basically questioning the kid's sexuality, saying you don't look bi. So I'm like, head tilts. And Oliver says, oh, I don't, but yeah, I think I am. Trent saying, no, don't let the sexuality bite. Trent then also goes on to say, it's okay, you're going to grow up doing what you love and probably fade away from me, trying to make Oliver feel guilty for, I don't even know. This is the problem. It's like a manipulation tactic. It's really sick. Oliver also says he was always sending pics of me to me, especially this pic. And Oliver said, sorry if I don't respond that fast. I'm trying to kind of take a break from Twitter. And Trent asks why and then says no as a response. And then also sends that edited picture back of Oliver. I'm sensing weird obsessive vibes going on over here. We then have a series of tweets where Oliver's basically saying that they're going to take a little break from Twitter and Trent's not very happy about it and saying he's going to be all sad and he's really, really worried, doesn't want Oliver to leave, etc., etc. He then goes on to, I think Trent is addressing a tweet and starts insinuating that Oliver and Oliver's friend or whoever is having sex, and just probing that a little bit, which once again, this is a 30-odd-year-old and a 14-year-old, okay? So keep this in mind. Trent then says, I know, just saying it sounded like you and her were gay together. Oliver said, oh, oops, lol, they were just lyrics. Trent then says, are you enjoying it? So that's just wildly inappropriate, of course. And then this is where I feel like it just gets a whole lot worse. So Trent asks, what are you like in person? And then goes on to ask, what would you be like around me? Trent then really starts obsessing over Oliver's friend and says, maybe you two will run off together and have a family. I'm probably not. Maybe friends that become part of a family, whatever that means. And then just goes on to really push out the whole Peapod's nickname, which is what Trent gave Oliver. Oliver said, who's Peapod's? And Trent says, you're Peapod. Nobody can have her but you, etc., etc. He even goes to say, I just wanted a special video of you. Whatever the hell that means is just, it's warped. Then Trent goes on to say, hi pretty Peapod, I still don't see you when you wear makeup, and then goes to say, I think I'm broken because I prefer girls not to have a whole lot of makeup on, which is fairly self-explanatory into what he's trying to say to Oliver there. Trent then starts to ask, how do you look now? And Oliver says, like, what do I look like right now? And then Trent also goes on to saying, can I hear your normal voice one day? Oliver said, yes, of course. I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere of my normal voice. And Trent says, no, I want one from you. So you can kind of tell that Oliver's trying to put the barrier up there. Oliver, this is just from my own personal observation of looking at the to and from messages. It seems like Oliver is really trying to be like, no, like, or acting a bit coy about the whole thing. Maybe they genuinely were. But it seems like there must be a gut instinct to know that that's not right if you're saying, no, I'm sure that my friends have one, or no, you know, I don't quite know what you mean kind of thing. Or maybe I'm just looking too far into it. But I feel like this is how a lot of people online, you see it happen quite a lot in all of these different programs, or maybe it's even happened to you before, where you'll have people who talk to you a lot online, and then just slowly but surely they just start asking for a picture, or, oh, can I hear your voice, or, oh, and then it eventually leads up to, do you want to meet? And sometimes that can be completely innocent if you're two consenting adults, but if you're talking about a child and an adult, nothing good can come of that. Like, absolutely nothing is good about that whole situation. We then have Trent asking, how do you hug? Is there a video of it? And Oliver saying, of me hugging someone. And then it then gets down to, you can text me anytime, we'll listen to you without judgment. And then it actually gives Oliver his phone number. And Oliver swiftly follows that off with, my mum wouldn't be very happy with that, I'm not very happy with that, etc., etc. Originally thinking that Trent actually meant DM, but I feel like this is where Trent was going the whole time. It's just sort of, trying to build blocks on that friendship to then give them the number. And some people might be on my ass about this video. Some people might be a bit like, maybe they do just find it hard to, they struggle with understanding what's right and what's wrong. Or like, even if they've been told, they don't comprehend it. But the thing is that they have been told about this. Their family knew about it because they told him not to do it anymore. So if it's not shame, the blame has got to be put on someone. It's got to be put on Trent, and it's also got to be put on the adults who just stood by and let this happen. Let this happen to a 13, 14-year-old. And it honestly makes me disgusted how not even the parents could be bothered to really do anything about it. They must have known that Trent was talking to underage children. Must have done. Otherwise, why would Trent just come out and say, oh, my parents told me not to talk to children online anymore, or like under 18s anymore? They knew, and shame on them, shame on Trent, shame on them for not intervening, because this is honestly sick. And here is Trent saying, it's been a long time since I've done it, i.e. texting. Oliver saying, used to do it. Trent saying, with so-and-so and so-and-so, I stopped because parents were like, that can get you in trouble. And Colleen posted a video and I got mad at it. Sorry, the recording button's right there. But this is what I'm trying to say. The parents already knew that he was likely to be messaging minors. If they've done it in the past, you need to keep on monitoring it. Your parents or their parents, my parents, oh, why would it get you in trouble? And this is the naivety of it, which is why I feel so sorry for Oliver. I feel so sorry for them, because they had no idea that this is how serious it really is. Trent saying, because your parents could take it in wrong way, like I do something horrible to you. But the thing is that we are never to be sure. But I'm just saying that if I saw those messages on my child's phone, or if I saw those messages in general being directed at me, being directed at a child, that is what would cross my mind. Because to me, it looks like the foundation blocks of grooming are there. The kind of getting to know, the talking, the liking the tweets, and it's just a steady rise of then being like, hey, message me, hey, can I get a video of you hugging, hey, can I get can I know what you sound like, etc., etc., for no real reason. But you have to understand the age difference, and you have to understand what it looks like from an outside perspective. And to me, that is what it looks like. And it's really, really sick and quite sad that these people, all these people that were kids, or not quite sure how old they are now, but people who are just reaching their adulthood are now realising just how sick and twisted this whole thing really was. And apparently not just with Colleen, but with her brother as well. And then to close it off, Oliver saying, so your parents don't let you anymore? And Trent says, nope, well, I could, but might get me in trouble. What do you guys think of this whole thing? Apparently not just Colleen, it's her brother as well. I'm not saying Colleen was messaging in this capacity, but I'm saying that speaking to fans' children inappropriately online is definitely a running theme, and it's something that really needs to be heavily laser focused looked at. And like I've already said it, but Colleen and Trent's parents, I mean, if they knew that Trent had been text messaging underage kids, why were they not continuously checking phones? Why did they not decide to really focus on that? I just think the system is broken down somewhere along the way, and I feel so bad for the people who keep on coming out saying all of this crazy stuff. Just these different allegations and showing legitimate proof as well. I mean, I can't even imagine what that would be like. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.